Say this prayer and you'll be shocked at what happens next, because this is not just a coincidence, it's divine timing. And if you're hearing these words right now, it means something in the heavens is shifting in your favor. Something that has been delayed is about to be released. And no, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be religious. You just need to believe for the next few minutes and allow this moment to become your breakthrough. Because too many nights you've laid in bed wondering if God forgot about you. Too many times you've smiled on the outside while your heart was breaking inside. And I know you've questioned if your prayers even mattered. But today is different. Today your spirit is about to collide with a miracle. A miracle that doesn't require luck or logic, just faith. And I don't mean shallow belief. I mean the kind of faith that whispers keep going, even when everything around you says give up. The kind of faith that refuses to die in the middle of the desert, because it knows the promised land is still real. And if you're still here, still breathing, still hoping, then this is your confirmation that something is about to shift, financially, spiritually, emotionally, because heaven has heard your cry. And yes, I said heaven, because what you're about to feel is not human encouragement, it's divine intervention, the kind that walks into your situation and flips everything around. The kind that doesn't make sense to the world but makes perfect sense to a God who loves to take the broken pieces and turn them into blessings. And no, this isn't hype. This is real. And you'll feel it as we continue. You'll feel the peace rise up, the fears start to dissolve, and the weight begin to lift. And by the end of this prayer, something in your life will be different. Not because I said so, but because God is faithful. And when you speak with boldness, when you say yes to this moment and refuse to scroll away, that's when doors open. That's when favor shows up unexpectedly, and that's when miracles start to move in your direction. And maybe you've been silent for too long. Maybe you've been surviving when you were born to thrive. Maybe you forgot that one prayer can shift everything, and this is that prayer. So stay with me. Don't let distractions pull you away, because the moment you say this from your soul and not your lips, that's when heaven will respond. I know what it feels like to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders while pretending everything is fine. I know what it means to be the strong one for everyone else, and yet cry in silence when no one is watching, and maybe no one sees how close you've come to breaking, how tired you've become of always trying to figure it all out, and maybe people think you're okay just because you smile, but deep down, there's this ache, this fear, this constant battle between hope and doubt, and you've wondered if anyone really understands, if God still hears, still cares, or if your pain has just been echoing in the dark. And if this speaks to your soul right now, I want you to know that you are not forgotten, not invisible, not abandoned, because God has seen every tear you never showed, every time you stayed quiet to avoid burdening others, every time you fought battles no one clapped for, and He's not angry with your questions. He's not offended by your weariness, because He knows what you've walked through and how hard it's been just to hold on. And that's why this moment is so sacred, because it's not just a video, it's an answer, and maybe no one told you this before. But your survival up to this point is not just strength, it's purpose. You're not here just to pay bills and feel stuck. You were born for more, and I know the bills are real. I know the deadlines are real. I know the nights you've cried over not having enough. And I know the fear that comes when you see your account almost empty, and your heart almost giving up. But I also know the power of one prayer, one shift, one act of faith. And I've seen it happen to people who were exactly where you are now. A single mother who had nothing left and suddenly received a financial breakthrough that changed her life. A man who lost everything and got a job offer the day after he gave his last dollar in faith. And no, I'm not saying it's magic, I'm saying it's real. Because I've lived it too. I've sat in silence wondering if things would ever change. I've had moments where all I could do was whisper, God, please. And even when it didn't come instantly, it came. And if you're still listening, it's because there's a seed of faith in you that refuses to die. A seed that's still reaching for light, still hoping for a miracle. And I want to speak directly to that seed right now and say, don't give up. Don't let go. Don't believe the lie that nothing will ever change. Because you wouldn't be hearing this if change wasn't already on the way. And I know it's hard to trust again after so many disappointments. I know it's scary to hope again after being let down. But please, don't shut your heart to what God wants to do next. Because this prayer is not about religion. It's about release. This is not just words. It's a spiritual transaction. Something sacred between your soul and heaven. And yes, it starts with belief. But belief doesn't mean perfection. It just means being willing. Willing to try again. Willing to open your heart even if it's bruised. willing to say, God, I need you, even if your voice trembles. And I promise you, that kind of honesty, that kind of vulnerability is where the miracle begins. Because God doesn't move through ego, He moves through surrender. And if you're ready, if this message has been peeling back layers you've been hiding under for years, then don't be afraid to respond in your spirit right now. Don't be afraid to say, I'm ready. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to feel something shift inside of you. Because this is your sign. This is your moment. This is your divine appointment. Here's what most people never realize, and it's something I need you to hear with your full heart. There is a spiritual code that opens the windows of heaven, and it's hidden not in performance, not in perfection, but in alignment. And when your heart aligns with heaven through a pure, surrendered prayer, things begin to move in the invisible before they manifest in the natural. And yes, this sounds deep, but it's also real. Because what I'm about to lead you through is not just inspiration, it's activation. It's a spiritual moment that has the power to unlock what has been held back for far too long. And few people know this, but those who've discovered it don't live the same. Because once you've touched the supernatural flow of God's provision, you never go back to fear again. And this is not prosperity hype. It's divine truth. Because provision was always part of God's promise to His children. And maybe you've been surviving when God created you to receive. Maybe you've been stuck in lack because no one ever taught you that wealth begins in worship. And when you align your soul, your words, and your faith, you become a magnet for divine release. And I've seen it in real people, in real stories. Like the woman who prayed this very prayer I'm about to share, and within 24 hours received the exact amount she needed. Not because of luck, but because she understood the key wasn't the amount. It was the obedience. And she didn't beg, she believed. And when she did, heaven responded. And I'm telling you now, today is not like other days. This is not just another moment. This is a divine window. And if your spirit is awake, you already feel it. Because breakthrough always carries a frequency. It doesn't knock loudly, it whispers. And if you're still listening, that whisper is reaching your soul right now saying, it's time. And yes, you might feel nervous. Yes, you might feel skeptical. But don't let your mind talk you out of what your spirit is already receiving. Because I believe with everything in me that what you need is already set aside. The money, the opportunity, the favor. It's already assigned to your name. And this prayer is simply the key to open that assignment. To release it from the spiritual to the physical. And no, it may not drop like lightning, but it will come. In the right way. At the right time. And I believe that time starts now. Because when we pray with intention and release doubt, miracles begin to organize themselves around our obedience. And I want you to say this with me in your heart. I'm ready, I'm willing, and I believe that what I need is already moving toward me. Because the moment you release that declaration, you stop living in fear and start walking in faith. And that shift is where everything changes. Father, I come to you not because I'm perfect, not because I have all the answers, but because I've reached a point where I don't know what else to do. And I've tried so many things, listened to so many voices, made so many plans. But nothing fills this void. Nothing calms this storm. And I know you see me right now. Not just on the outside, but on the inside. You see the pressure I've been under. You see how I keep smiling while I'm breaking. How I keep giving while I'm empty. And I need you to hear my cry. Because I'm not just praying out of habit, I'm praying from a place of desperation. A place where I feel like everything is closing in. The bills, the silence, the questions, the fear. It all keeps coming, and I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm worn out from pretending like I've got it together. And I don't care about appearances anymore. I care about peace. I care about breakthrough. I care about hearing from you. Because if you don't move, I don't know how I'll make it. If you don't step in, I don't know how I'll keep standing. Because the weight is heavy and the answers are few and the time is short. And I'm not asking for something fancy. I'm just asking for a sign that you're still here. That you still care, that you still provide, because I've heard the stories, I've seen the miracles, and I believe you still do it, even if part of me is scared to believe again, scared to get my hopes up. But here I am, laying it all down, not holding back, not trying to impress, just being real, just being raw, just being yours. Because I don't want the fake stuff. I want you. I want truth. I want answers. I want relief. I want rest. And if you're listening, I'm begging you, breathe on my situation. Bring clarity where there's confusion. Bring peace where there's panic. Bring provision where there's nothing left. Because you are the God of abundance, not lack. The God of timing, not delay. And I'm asking you to shift whatever needs to shift so I can breathe again, so I can sleep again, so I can stop worrying about things that are too big for me. Because I was never meant to carry all this. I was meant to trust you. But somewhere along the way, I lost that trust. And now I want it back. Now I want to believe again. Now I want to hope again. Now I want to be free from this cycle of survival. Because I can't live like this anymore. And I know you hear me. I know you care. I know you're closer than I feel. So I'm asking you, with everything I have left, show me something. Even if it's small, even if it's subtle. Just remind me that you still write miracles, that you still love like you say you do, because right now, I'm not just praying, I'm pleading. But even in this heaviness, even with the fear and the fatigue, I choose to believe that things can change. I choose to believe that this is not the end of my story, that something better is still ahead, that what I see now is not all there is, because I believe you are a God who restores, who lifts, who turns things around when it feels too late. And I believe you see not just my struggles, but also my faith. You see the part of me that refuses to give up, that still whispers, God, I trust you, even through tears. And I believe that you are the same God who parted seas, who fed thousands, who raised the dead. And if you could do that, then surely you can fix my situation. Surely you can release what I need. Surely you can guide me out of this mess and into something greater. And I believe this season of lack will not last. This storm will not destroy me. This weight will not crush me, because something in my soul knows that breakthrough is coming, that favor is forming, that peace is rising, and I won't apologize for believing big. I won't tone down my faith just to be realistic, because I've seen what happens when you move. And I'm not just hoping for scraps. I'm expecting overflow. I'm expecting healing. I'm expecting doors to open and debts to dissolve and joy to return. Because even if I don't see it yet, I know you're working behind the scenes. I know you're speaking to people on my behalf, aligning circumstances, redirecting outcomes, protecting me from things I didn't even know were coming. And I thank you in advance for what you're about to do. I thank you for the job I haven't found yet, for the money that hasn't arrived yet, for the peace I haven't fully felt yet, because I trust your process, even when I don't understand your pace. And I believe you're a God of acceleration, that when the time is right, things can change suddenly, unexpectedly, supernaturally, and I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to the belief that the next 24 hours could be different, that one message, one call, one opportunity could shift everything, because I know that with you all things are possible, and I don't need to have the details. I just need to keep showing up, keep believing, keep declaring that things are getting better, that light is breaking through, that my name is being mentioned in rooms I've never entered. And I believe that this prayer is not just an exercise in hope, it's a declaration of transformation. Because from this moment forward, I will not speak from fear, I will speak from faith. I will not expect the worst, I will expect the best. I will not rehearse the pain, I will prepare for the promise, because you are faithful, and I believe it. I declare right now, with boldness and full authority, that my blessing is arriving, my miracle is in motion. My breakthrough is unfolding in ways I cannot yet see, but can already feel in my spirit. And I will no longer speak from a place of fear. I will speak from a place of victory, because I know that heaven has already released what I need. I know that supernatural provision is on the way, and I stand in agreement with the promises over my life. I align my words, my thoughts, and my actions with abundance, with purpose, with divine flow. And I cancel every lie that said I would always struggle, every voice that said I would never rise, every fear that said I was forgotten. Because I am chosen, I am covered, I am surrounded by grace. And from this moment forward, I walk like someone who is already blessed. I think like someone who already has the answer. I speak like someone who expects the best. Because I'm not waiting for the miracle, I'm living as if it's already done. Because faith is not hoping blindly. Faith is knowing deeply. And I know who my God is. I know He finishes what He starts. I know He rewards faith that refuses to give up. And I'm done surviving. I'm stepping into overflow. I'm stepping into rest. I'm stepping into rooms where my name has already been spoken with favor. I'm walking into days filled with unexpected calls, unexpected income, unexpected solutions. Not because of luck, but because I serve a God who works in the unseen and rewards those who trust Him loudly. And I won't apologize for my confidence. I won't shrink to fit into small places. I was made for more. I was made to shine. to succeed, to bless and be blessed, to break generational lack and open doors for others. And it starts now, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. And every step I take is guided. Every word I speak is covered. Every decision I make is aligned with divine timing. And I will see the fruit of this prayer. I will testify of what you've done. I will give thanks and glory, because you've always been faithful, even when I doubted, even when I strayed, even when I let fear speak louder than faith. You were still there, still providing, still making a way, and now I declare, my finances are shifting, my atmosphere is changing, my future is opening up, and I won't just survive. I will thrive, I will grow, I will increase. I will bless others with what you bless me with, because I know this is bigger than me. This is legacy, this is kingdom, and I receive it all now, not with fear, but with boldness, not with hesitation, but with joy, because I believe, I receive, and I declare without shame, my blessing is here. Your blessing is arriving now, not later, not someday, but now, and I speak it with fire in my spirit because I can feel the shift happening even as you listen. And maybe you thought this was just another video, another prayer, but no, this was your divine appointment. This was your moment of release. And I declare with every fiber in me that the chains are breaking, the cycle is ending, the drought is over, and the flow of heaven is rushing in, and you can feel it, deep down. Even if your mind tries to reason it away, your spirit knows this isn't ordinary. This is sacred. This is supernatural. And I need you to hold on to what you feel right now because it's real. That warmth, that peace, that surge of hope. It's not imagination. It's the presence of God confirming that your time has come. And yes, things may still look the same around you, but something invisible just shifted for you. Something opened in the spiritual that will soon manifest in the physical. And I dare you to believe it. I dare you to say it out loud. My blessing is here, not coming, here, not maybe, now. And if you feel this in your bones, if you feel the tears rising, the hope returning, then respond right now in your heart and say, I receive it, I claim it, I believe it. Because when you speak in faith, you call things from heaven into earth. And when you declare with authority, you step into alignment with the very power that created the universe. And right now, I speak over your life. New money, new doors, new peace, new health, new strength, new opportunities, not as a wish, but as a witness. Because I believe what God starts, He always completes. And I believe that if you stayed this far, it's because your miracle needed this level of faith, this level of surrender, and now that you've activated it, nothing will stay the same. Nothing will remain stuck, because you've just stepped into a new timeline, a divine one. And I want you to hear this clearly. You made it. Through every dark moment, through every silent cry, through every storm that tried to take you out. And now, you're standing at the edge of answered prayer. And I'm telling you, jump, leap into it, celebrate it, claim it. Because you don't need to see it with your eyes to know it's already done in your spirit. And if you believe that, if you feel that, then right now write it in your soul. Shout it in your heart. Whisper it if you have to. My blessing has arrived. You're not the same anymore. Something changed, and you can feel it. And when you wake up tomorrow, expect it. Expect divine appointments. Expect unusual favor. Expect unexpected provision. Because that's what happens when faith collides with heaven. And right now, heaven just collided with your life. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of a new season. And I want you to understand something powerful before we go. What you just experienced was more than a prayer. It was a realignment with your divine identity, a full reset of your atmosphere, a spiritual transaction that shifted things in your favor. And even if your situation hasn't visibly changed yet, your inner world has, and that's where miracles start. And I know you feel it. I know something in you has awakened, something has shifted, something has broken open, and now your only job is to walk it out, to protect the seed that was planted tonight. Because what you water with faith will grow, what you feed with belief will flourish. And I want you to stay close, stay connected, because the next prayer, yes, the next one, is already being prepared to take you deeper, to strengthen this breakthrough, to unlock even more. And I'll be right here waiting for you when you come back, because you're not alone in this. We're walking this together, step by step, miracle by miracle, day by day. And the fact that you listen to the end means you've been chosen to prosper, chosen to heal, chosen to rebuild. And I declare over your life that this isn't just a moment, it's momentum. And from this day on, the doors that were closed are starting to open. The money that was blocked is being released. The people you are meant to connect with are being drawn to you, not by chance, but by divine design. And you don't need to chase. What's yours will find you. What's yours will recognize you. Because God is not sending scraps, He's sending overflow. And you are ready for it now. You are aligned now. You are clear now. And your future has already started to bloom. And if you're still listening, still breathing in this moment, let me speak this one truth over you. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned. And now that you've aligned yourself through prayer, you'll start to see what was always meant to be yours. Peace, provision, purpose, prosperity. And if you receive that, if you claim that, then write it in your spirit and in your heart. My victory has arrived. And listen, don't walk away from this and forget it. Carry it with you. Play this again if you need to. Let this soak deep into your spirit. Because what we did here wasn't temporary. It was foundational. It was eternal. And I encourage you to stay in this flow, to stay in this faith, because the more you remain, the more you'll receive. And yes, you should expect something to happen. Expect a message. Expect a sign. Expect divine confirmation. Because faith is not a feeling. Faith is action. And you took that action by staying until the end. And that says something about your spirit, about your hunger. And that kind of hunger never goes unanswered. That kind of hunger attracts miracles. And if you're feeling a peace right now, a stillness, that's confirmation that heaven has heard you, that something real took place. And if this prayer touched you, if it stirred something in you, then leave your mark. Write it down. Say it out loud. Post it in the comments if you feel led. Declare it boldly. My blessing has been released. And come back tomorrow because I'll be waiting with another word, another activation, another prayer that will continue what was started here. Because we're building something together, and this isn't a one-time thing. This is a movement of faith, and you're a part of it now. And don't forget to share this with someone who needs it, someone you love, because this breakthrough isn't just for you. It's meant to ripple through your home, your family, your finances, your generation, and this is only the beginning. And if you feel it, if you believe it, then hold on tight, because the next 48 hours could change everything. And yes, I said it, because I believe it. Your life will never be the same again. Now go forward with peace, with strength, with confidence, because the storm has passed, the chains are broken, and heaven is backing you. And before you go, take a moment, breathe this in, and say one last time, thank you, God. I believe. I'll see you tomorrow, with more faith, with more fire, with more favor.